Okay, hey everyone. My name is Garrett Hutchinson. You might have already known me formerly by Hoffner. I got married in this past June. Um, I'm going to teach a quick, condensed version of Quantum Mantra, but before we begin, I'm going to give you guys a small demonstration of what the difference between traditionally chanting a mantra versus what Quantum Mantra can do for you all. So, I'm going to do the one of Shiva mantra. I think it's called the. Correct me if I'm wrong about the name. I probably don't have the right pronunciation, but it's the Mahamitrayana mantra. And it goes something like this. This is at the traditional, using only a singular voice and a singular dimension of chanting a mantra. So this is how the mantra goes. Om Trimbakam Yajamahi Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukaviva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshya Mamritat. So that was at the singular frequency that traditional chanters usually operate at. This is the second time I'm going to go through this. This is what Quantum Mantra can do. Om Trimbakam Yajamahi Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukaviva Bandhanam Mrityormukshiyat Mamritat. Compare sample A to sample B and just keep a mental registry of what difference you might have felt and what other differences you can feel in your body, your mind, and even in higher dimensions if you have that awareness within you. So just briefly, what quantum mantra is one, people are going to notice they're going to have a greater efficiency at completing their mantras, and we can bypass the number of time it takes to count to the 108. Like, technically, you can get to a 108 in just saying the mantra one time. Two, it's going to amplify the power and potency of the mantra. If you can say it 108 times in only just one vocal chant. Three, it'll bend and express the mantra from a multi-level, multi-dimensional state of existence. So we're not just saying it with a singular or a linear line of existence. We're coming from multiple angles. Essentially, we're chanting a mantra from infinity. Om Shrim Hrim Saraswati Namaha. So my intention with this is to teach people how to chant the mantra from the points that I just mentioned, and to teach them how to use mantra as an energetic medicine, just as you would any sound healer would use certain instruments to produce a certain frequency or hit a particular note. Each mantra has its own unique frequency and its own medicine it targets for a specific point in reality. Like, for example, everyone can do a Gayatri mantra, and that's that easy peasy mantras. But each mantra has its own, for example, it has its own deity it's associated with. So if you wanted to accelerate your awareness and your learning capacity, you would use the Hindu goddess Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, wisdom, and learning, to amplify your own learning capabilities. So that is basically the intention that I have for quantum mantra is to teach people how to use quantum mantra to use it as a 5D medicine table. So before we get into like the whole the we get into the core depth of quantum mantra, this is something that I think that was the backbone of quantum mantra that I like to give to you guys. So you've heard of the Hermetica and the 7 laws of reality. These are the laws that allow you to tap into things and concepts that you wouldn't know otherwise. This again basically is the how do I say it? This is the backdoor access code to reality. So for every 7 doors, you open 7 more. So I'll come back to this and what that means, but here are the laws. The all is mental. And when I say the all, I mean all of everything. You know, time, space, infinity, gravity, black holes, white holes, wormholes, down to the smallest particle, to a singular cell organism, to the most complex machinery on this planet, and all the other planets and their spiritual or astrological influences on us. Basically, anything you can think of in conceptualized reality, this is what the all represents. So the all is mental, which means everything that the all created, it created in its mind first. Where do you start with an idea? You start it within the mind. If you have an idea to create something, that thing already exists in your mind. So if you can utilize the mind power, you basically have one of the most powerful tools of awareness and frequency in the cosmos. Then you have this, as above, so below, the law of correspondence. Whatever happens up here happens down here as well. So, law of vibration, nothing rests, everything vibrates. A lot of us people who dive into the quantum side of life, we know this firsthand, that even though it seems solid, it's just vibrating at such a high rate that it seems solid. So everything that's in this room right now, even this paper is vibrating at a particular rate. I don't know if you might have seen this in high school or not, but you've seen these experiments with resonance, where a singer or a musician can play the notes of the resonance of the glass on a wine glass, and then they just step it up ever so slightly, and then it shatters. That's the demonstration of the law of vibration. Then everything has a dual polarity. There's an outside, there's an inside. Up, down, hot, cold. That's the law of polarity. Then the law of rhythm, basically saying everything has a pendulum and everything manifests in everything. So if what goes up must come down. You see this in the wave function in music and in electromagnetism. So and then everything has a cause and effect. Everything, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction to things. So if I say the word Om, for example, that's going to change and bend the environment. I was the cause of Om, and then the environment and changing is the effect. So the 7th law is everything is male and female. Everything has gender or is gender. I'm not talking about the crude manifestation of a male and female coming together to mate, but rather everything has a linear point A to point B masculine consciousness and everything has a magnetic, all-encompassing feminine vibration to it. With these two together, if you can truly tap into this, you can combine the male and female in yourself to create reality by leaps and bounds, essentially. So now that we've briefly covered that, we can jump in to why I included a brief summary of Hermeticism into Quantum Mantra here. Okay, so for all of us who are here today, we have a pretty good idea of what the chakras are, the 7 chakras, right? Well, when I said earlier, for every 7 doors you open 7 more, a door in this case is equal to our chakras. So if you open 7 chakras, 7 more potentialities open up for you. So within the age of Pisces here, we just came out of a few years ago, we only had access to the 7th chakra, which gave us a maximum vibration of a 3rd to 4th dimensional consciousness. But since the Earth entered a 5th dimensional zone of the cosmos, now we have access to 12 plus chakras. So, if you're like, wait, if you said 7, well, yes, I did say 7, but these two up here, the 13th and 14th chakras / dimensions, are only accessible if you can acquire the consciousness of an ascended master. This is an ascended master zone only. Because right here, this is the point of where all reality is controlled. So, when we shift from a human experience to an ascended experience, we jump from the human experience lies from the 1st dimension, the root chakra, to the crown chakra, or the 7th dimension. And if you jump in from this 3D reality, which we've all lived for the past 2 millennia, we jump into the 5th dimension, and your ascension potentiality can reach up to the 12th dimension. So I'll get to why this is important for Quantum Mantra. So, if I thought when I was developing Quantum Mantra for myself, I had ran into a little problem. There was a mantra that I had that required me to say it over 35,000 times, and I was losing count. I was like, there's got to be a better way to do this. And then I remembered, okay, wait a minute. If you can open 7 doors outside, maybe you could open 7 doors inside, or introspectively. This is where I got the idea that every chakra has like this gradient leading up to the next chakra. For this example, I have the heart chakra here, and the solar plexus in the throat chakra here. So, the root chakra of the inner chakra of, or the pseudo chakra of the heart chakra, the root of that heart chakra would be a closer energy to the solar plexus down here. And then it would gradually rise up until it meets its crown chakra, which is closer to the energy of the throat chakra here. So if chakras have like these gradients or these pseudo chakras inside of them, then technically every chakra has its own voice. So in this example, you would have the voice of the heart here. So inside, for this short class and this demonstration, we're just going to use the 7 chakras we're familiar with for the most part. So You have the throat chakra. For quantum mantra, we're only focusing on the vocal power or the fifth chakra. So this is the throat chakra here, and in every chakra there is a tiny amount of throat chakra energy residing inside of them. So essentially, since we know that there are voices inside of each chakra, we can use each of these chakras as like a speaker or their own singers and chanters, if you will. So with just a traditional mantra, for a mantra to be effective, it takes about 108 times. The 108 symbolizing time, space, and infinity. But with the quantum mantra, since we know we can use all the chakras as their own like boombox speakers or their own chanters, we can essentially cut down the amount of time it takes to get to the 108. So if we use the quantum mantra technique for this lesson, so 108 divided by 7 is around 15.42, or just round up to the nearest whole, would be 16 chants. So if you do that, if you want to get to the proper math, 16 times 7 is 112 here. So essentially, if we're saying a mantra with the 7 chakras with the quantum mantra style, it'd only take us 16 times to surpass 108 energy and make the mantra that much stronger. So essentially, you are 7 voices in one being at this point. And for the image that may or may not help you, if you want to use your imagination to make this more solid within yourself, you can imagine each chakra as a stereo speaker, or them just chanting along with you, just like another head at each of you chanting chanting the mantra. So these are the Bij mantras, or the root seed syllables that Sanskrit provided to amplify, heal, and correct any imbalances or remove blockages within each of the chakras. So we're going to start practicing with these first. So, James, you ready for this?
Sure.
Alright, so I'm going to walk you bit by bit how to do the quantum mantra. So, you're just going to start with your voice. Pick a Bij mantra. Which one do you want to? Lam. So we're just going to start with the throat chakra only. Lam. Now imagine that same word coming out of your heart chakra as well. Now do it with the third eye and the heart and the throat. Solar plexus and crown now. Now, just finish it up with the sacral and the root chakra. You have 7 chakras saying the same thing. So, what did you feel when you experienced that?
Sort of vibrating higher and higher the more that the integration with the other chakras were playing.
So did you feel a kind of like an echoey feeling, like
I felt more expanse. The frequency or the intensity of the energy spiked up. Kind of like everything it was doing before, but just more.
Every time.
All right, so Andrea, you ready?
Sure.
Which Bij mantra do you want?
I want Om.
Om.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Same. We're going to do this the same pathway. So Om. Now imagine that same Om coming out of the heart chakra. Om. Heart chakra, throat, third eye.
I'm lightheaded.
Now throw in the solar plexus and the crown. Now finish off with the sacral and the root chakra. Yikes. So what did you feel?
A lot expansive, but very in harmony.
Almost sounded like a choir.
Peaceful, yeah. But I could just feel like all of my. The last one I was just very in tune. I could just feel all the way. It was just like I don't know, gold going all the way up me and out of me, and yeah.
So yeah, that is
Beautiful.
That's basically quantum mantra, bypassing the an old way of reaching the 108 count. Now you can just surpass the 108 with just saying that just 16 times, rather than taking 15 minutes or to 20 minutes to sit down, possibly even 30 if that kind of count, the 108 is so strong that you have to take breaks in between, have like intervals to let that solidify within yourself. Now you can just say that with just 16 times and have it let under 2 minutes now. Not only that, but now you guys are bending reality from multiple dimensions.
Yeah, I can feel it. I'm very goofy. Yep, I'm high. In a good way.
So, any questions? Or?
Yeah. This is where I'd like to be.
Who's brave enough to go venture 8 through 12?
Sure.
Oh, we could both do it.
Alright. See, so now you understand how to sing with the 7 chakras. Just go 1 chakra above the crown chakra to get to the 8th.
Do you get the seed sounds for those?
The seed sounds.
I don't remember them.
The seed sounds for the 8 through 12, I don't even know about those. The only seed sounds I know for those would be the codes for Antohai.
I could have sworn in some of the Hindu stuff that I've learned over the years that there are more, but the 7 are the primary ones that everyone's focused on.
Yeah.
They're typically the ones that end up on a chart, unless you're going into the deeper teachings, and then you'll find stuff like that.
Like within what I teach in Quantum Mantra Level 1, the full course, I teach you how to use all the full spectrum of the 12, plus the secondary system, plus combine that with your acupuncture points, all 361 of them, or like the acupuncture points could be considered sub-chakras, so technically you have like 419 speakers emanating out of you, chanting a mantra. So basically you have 419 voices in one body.
So that you only have to do half a sound and then you're done? Is that how that works? maybe even a quarter sound up, and you're just like, okay, I'm there.
If you want just to get that one frequency of that sound, you can sure. But even going back to what the Hindu philosophy of chakras are, the philosophy is you have 108 chakras inside the body, and 114, and a total of 114 if you count the ones outside of the body. So technically, if any of you who know the 108 count, by all means, try and practice with that and expand upon that with the basic principle I just taught you here today. I would love to know the 108 count, so if any of you who are watching this video are know that information, please send me a comment on whatever platform you're watching, and please let me know because I would love to learn that aspect. Let's see. So, have you guys ever accessed to the 8th chakra before?
I have no
Okay, I'll give you a booster here.
clue. Okay.
Alright, so the 8th chakra is basically the shaman chakra, or the transcendental chakra, or the chakra that controls the aspect of time here in this reality, or time space. So I'm gonna give y'all a boost real quick.
Crack your knuckles.
Alright.